The president, Kevin, he's about to sign 25% tariffs on steel and aluminum and reciprocal tariffs. What do you make of all this?
Well, those are two different baskets. Obviously, the one that people are talking about quite a bit tonight is India. They've got certain product services in different sectors up to 23%. Now we're going to have reciprocal tariffs in the U.S. against them. Modi will immediately fly to Washington. The negotiations will begin. It's the same everywhere. The Canadian situation is unique. Almost the entire $200 million deficit that the president's talking about comes from one single source. That's energy coming out of Irving refineries on the East Coast down to Boston. And all of that oil, 4.3 million barrels a day, coming out of Alberta into the West. And so that's the most inexpensive oil the U.S. imports. That's why he only put a 10% tariff on it. But it's the beginning of a giant negotiation. Aluminum, 70% of aluminum comes in the U.S. is made in Canada for one singular reason. The Canadians have all the power. Aluminum requires electricity. We don't have any grid left for electricity. So all of this, to me, if you separate the signal from the noise, forget the noise. The signal is, let's get an economic union together. The Canadians aren't going to sell the country. That's not really on the table. What is on the table that now 43% of Canadians want to explore more of, forget all these tariffs. Let's join the two economies, become a behemoth, common currency perhaps, and then take on China. I mean, that's really what we're talking about here. We're talking about security of the North, not the 49th parallel. Unfortunately, the one fly in the ointment right now is Trudeau government collapsed. He's not there anymore. So everybody's scrambling. We're waiting for the election in 90 days when new leadership will be in place with a 4-year mandate like Trump has to negotiate all this. In the meantime, it's the premiers of provinces like Doug Ford in Ontario and Danielle Smith in Alberta that are taking all the heat and trying to negotiate this stuff because they're doing the most trading with the United States. But you got to let the Canadians have an election.